I know you've taken a very bold step in choosing the different style that people are used to, or at least away from what they're used to for a while.
Yeah.
Were you a bit skeptical when making this decision, especially looking at what the commercial perception is when it comes to music for a lot of people? If it's not dunka, at least you're gonna go through the trap side of things. But you've gone for the more soulful, mellow kind of vibe. Were you skeptical when making this decision?
Not really. I mean, because I kind of feel, that's a very interesting summary, and I like the way you characterize it. But I actually feel like commercially, trap is not particularly, well recognized still. I feel, and I mean, granted, I don't wish to in any way toot my own horn, but I feel like that was the bold decision for me to be so heavy into trap. And I was personally, it's a style of music, talking about trap, that I've always been into, but I wasn't sure about how the commercial reception of that would be. So when a record like Money Gang did as well as it did, I was actually surprised. I was like, I didn't know that there was...
For a lot of people, the argument would be that at least trap music is something can play in the club. I mean, Money Gang is a song I can play in the club. And for a lot of Zambian artists, that's the target. Like, yo, if I can have my song playing in the club, then I'm okay. But for the mellow side, it probably won't play in the club, especially during the peak hours. So maybe because of that, that's why maybe some folks feel skeptical about it.
Gotcha.
So did you put all these things into consideration? Like, okay, I don't mind the clubs this time around?
Yeah, no, I mean, so one, I think that there are like at least 2 or 3 solid club records on the project. But I did want something that was a vibe, I feel like it's important to have that diversity and that breadth. So I prioritized that. I said, look, you at the end of the day, sometimes you want music that people can sit with. That someone can put their earphones on and daydream. So you want to be accessible via different formats as an artist. And if you think about it, I'm sure a lot of your favorite artists can do that. They have a track that plays in the club, but they also have a track where, like, we were just talking about an artist just now. You know what I mean? And that artist has that effect. So I didn't view it as risky. I just viewed it as a different avenue.
Yeah. Nice. And the album has also come with an amazing strategy. I think I once tweeted about this. I always expect that from Chanda in a good way. When you're just about to release a song, there's always going to be something strategic that you're going to do. And also how you keep things to yourself for the longest time is what marvels me. I really don't know how you're going to do it. I really don't know. That's, I think, one of the biggest traits. But the fact that you've had this done, and it came a lot with the shout-outs. First of all, Drake's dad.
Talk about that.
Let's start with that. How did that come? How did it come about?
Man, so the truth is, a cousin of mine lives and works in the U.S. and has a few connections out there, and mentioned it to me kind of as a joke. He's like, "Yo, one of these days maybe we should get one of these guys to give you a shout out." And and whatever. I was like, "Oh, I was like, cool." I'm like, "I'm game. What like, can you make it happen?" I was like, "Who do you have access to?" And he named a few people that he could hit up. And basically he made it happen. And I told him, I was like, "Hey man, I actually have something that I'm about to drop. It would be really awesome if like that could be mentioned, you know." And thankfully, however he, made it happen, they said yes, because there was 2 people that he managed to hit up for me. And Drake's dad was particularly enthusiastic about it. He even followed me on Instagram, and we've been DMing. And he apparently wants to come check out Zambia. So
There's a possibility of him coming here.
Yeah. So we just need to make it happen, man. Hook up the sponsorship, yo.
Okay. So he took time. Did he take time to actually listen to any of your work?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, my cousin said he sent it over. I mean, he like sent the video and the shout out before he acknowledged whether he listened or not. But I know that he sent the stuff through. So fingers crossed.
I know the perception for some people, I've been seeing this a bit on Twitter and other platforms, is this was a paid for shout out, that you paid to have this shout out done. Was there any financing involved?
Not on my part. Not on my part. I don't know if my cousin had to pay or something, but from what I know, for me, the big telling, like if somebody were to say that to me, I'd say like, look, for me, the priority is that he followed me and I have access to him. You know what I mean? One, if I didn't pay for that, and I still got it, for me, I'm like, I don't care what my cousin did for me at the end of the day. If Drake's dad comes to Zambia, you know what I'm saying? But personally, no. And he didn't tell me of any such arrangement. So.
Was it a similar situation with Christina as well?
Yeah, he hooked that up for me. So
Okay, so he was connected big time.
yeah, because he works in some like nightlife stuff over there.
Ah,
so.
okay. All right. So who knows? Maybe you can actually have a collaboration. Can he also hook that up?
You think about it yourself. The own you're talking about. Because I saw people like, oh no, but what about the son? I'm like,
Yeah. But I hear Drake's dad also raps. He does a bit of some rapping. Maybe you can start from there.
maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
All right, cool. And you know that in itself, I know this is a conversation that people still have about that in terms of, also like getting international recognition. Because in Zambia we have very few artists who are getting that type of recognition or making strides to attain those particular milestones. Do you subscribe to the fact that sometimes, yes, we just need to pay for some of these, collaborations or airplay? Do you think it's necessary that we have to do that as Zambians?
So what I'll say is, I mean, for me, at the end of the day, whenever I sit down with an artist who asks me for advice, I say you kind of have to decide on what your priorities are. And you also have to go into the music industry with your eyes open, in the sense that if I had, the opportunity to witness a little bit of the U.S. music industry, and I'll tell you, a lot of the things that we see in the U.S. music industry aren't necessarily what we think they are. You know what I'm saying? Even the issue of radio play, it's a big scandal in the U.S., this idea of payola, that record labels, I mean, one, there's like a structural reason why it's that way, but two, there is this system of how songs are promoted at radio, and it involves a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to be in the music business, there are certain things you're going to have your eyes open about in terms of marketing, promotion. And even, for example, I think the African artist I think who does the best of teaching young artists how to think about things is Mr. Easy. So one time he posted how he budgets when he drops a single. And he put the numbers, and he was like, look, this is how much I spent to shoot the video, this is how much I spent for this is how much I spent for this, and the biggest part of the budget was marketing and promotion. So he pays for sponsored ads, he pays for whatever different types of like content strategies to promote the music. So money is a part of it. How you allocate that money and what you use it for is up to you. But don't be naive, and because there's this like rhetoric where people say, if you're talented, things will happen. For me, I tell young artists, don't even listen to that. That's just people playing smoke and mirrors, trying to make their moves look like they're just really like dope. But there's a lot. but if we're honest with the young artists, be prepared. Like, it's financial investment. Every major artist you see, even the big guys from the US, what is their name? But not necessary. But it's a thing. So budgeting and knowing marketing and promoting is very important. How you do it is up to you, but be prepared to do